Your brain can change, but only if you speak its language. That language is not written in hours of cramming, red-eyed at 3 a.m., nor in triple espresso slammed before a deadline. It is written in 2 clear sentences of biology: trigger, then consolidate. Miss either word and the message dissolves, taking your new vocabulary, your coding project, your guitar solo with it. Picture 100 billion neurons, each one a computer holding a tiny flash drive of potential. When you focus on a single fact, say the French verb devoir, the alertness chemical norepinephrine rises, sharpening the platform. Dopamine arrives next, a spotlight that tells the crowd, this moment matters. Then acetylcholine, the molecular highlighter, steps in. It physically marks the exact synapses that just fired, tagging them like graffiti that reads, rewire here tonight. No tag, no change. Half-hearted attention sprays faint ink that washes away before dusk. Laser focus writes in indelible neon. The tagging ceremony ends within seconds, but the actual construction crew clocks in only after you stop. During deep non-REM sleep, especially the slow-wave valleys that come early in the night, those tagged synapses are replayed in fast-forward, sometimes 20 times quicker than real life. The hippocampus broadcasts the compressed clip to the cortex, where it is unzipped, integrated, and soldered into long-term circuitry. Skip the shift and the tagged sites remain half-built, leaky, unreliable. That is why you can drill a piano passage until your fingers cramp, return the next morning and suddenly play it fluidly. The night crew finished the job you paid for with attention. The system is older than language itself, yet we sabotage it daily. We try to compress both phases into one extended caffeinated push. Stimulants amplify the trigger, more dopamine, more norepinephrine, brighter spotlight, but they silence the foreman who calls the night shift. The result feels like progress: wider eyes, faster typing, sharper jokes in the group chat. Measure a week later and the facts have evaporated, the skill remains brittle, and the brain is one step closer to burnout. There is a better rhythm, and it is carved into your cells. Ultradian cycles, roughly 90-minute waves of rising and falling alertness, govern hormone release, gene expression, even the flicker of your eyelids. Work with the wave, not against it. Lock into one peak for no longer than 90 minutes, then step away. Not to scroll social media, but to descend into deliberate idleness. A 20-minute nap, a slow walk without podcasts, a short non-sleep deep rest script where you lie supine, exhale longer than you inhale, and let thought drift. These mini off-ramps accelerate consolidation as surely as night follows day. Inside the focus block, add microgaps. Every few minutes, at random intervals, simply stop. 10 seconds, eyes open or closed, no input, no review. Neuroimaging shows that during these idle blips, the hippocampus sneaks in ultra-rapid replays, cramming extra repetitions into the same session. 30 such pauses woven through an hour of practice can double the retention rate without adding a single minute of study time. Macro rest, micro rest, both are useless if the foundation is cracked. Sleep is not the prize at the end of the workbook, it is the workbook itself. One night of 4-hour sleep chops the next day's plasticity by up to 40%, the molecular equivalent of asking construction workers to report while the cement truck is empty. Protect the last hour before bed. Dim light, cool room, no arguments, no doom scrolling. Treat the bedroom like the lab where your future self is being assembled neuron by neuron. Master the toggle and you own a cognitive superpower. Engage hard, disengage completely, repeat. This is the hidden cadence behind every concert pianist, every elite athlete, every coder who ships elegant work without collapsing. They are not born with more willpower. They simply obey the 2-step contract that evolution wrote in your head before you were ever asked to learn a single fact. The contract is simple, but it is not negotiable. Break it, and the best you can hope for is a fragile, short-term mimicry of skill, bright in the moment, gone by morning. Honor it, and the brain becomes an ally that compounds knowledge the way interest compounds money, quietly, automatically, while you appear to be doing nothing at all. Start tonight. Pick one discrete skill, perhaps the F major chord progression that always buzzes strings, or the 50 Latin roots that unlock medical jargon. Set a timer for 25 minutes. During that sprint, give the task everything. No phone, no side tab, no half ear on a podcast. Let the tension build. That tightness in your chest is not failure. It is acetylcholine being uncapped like a Sharpie. When the bell rings, stand up and walk away. Literally turn your back on the material. 10 deep breaths, shoulders down, gaze soft. Return for another sprint. After 3 cycles, shut the book, close the laptop, dim the lights, and lie flat. Guide your exhale to twice the length of your inhale. Count if you need structure, 4 in, 8 out. 20 minutes later, you will surface groggy, perhaps annoyed at the lost time. That irritation is the taste of construction dust settling into new neural concrete. Repeat tomorrow and the day after. By the 4th morning, the cord will ring clean, the roots will arrive unbidden, and the previous night's sleep will feel like someone slipped extra rehearsal hours into your skull while you dreamed about something else entirely. Resist the urge to scale the blocks into marathons. 90 minutes is the upper limit where the ultradian wave crests and breaks. Push past it and the tide turns against you, flushing chemicals meant for tagging into the systemic noise of stress. When the final sprint ends, schedule the macro rest deliberately, lunch without screens, a stroll where you listen to footfalls instead of playlists, or the guided non-sleep depressed track that drops heart rate below 60. These are not indulgences, they are the second half of the rep you began when you first sat down. Guard the night with equal discipline. Caffeine after 2 p.m. is a bet against the crew that clocks in at midnight. Blue light after 10 p.m. is a riot that blocks the loading dock. Treat the final hour like the sterile chamber where microchips are etched. Same temperature every evening, same low amber light, same paper book whose plot you have already read, so narrative suspense cannot keep the cortex on alert. Fail in this, and no amount of gap-learning micropauses will compensate. The tagged synapses arrive to a site without power tools. The mortar dries before it is troweled, and the next day's practice starts on a foundation of loose sand. Measure what matters. Forget the raw hours logged. Track recall at 48 hours, transfer to new problems at 1 week, performance under pressure at 1 month. These lagging indicators are the only honest report of whether the 2-step dance actually occurred. If retention stalls do not add more brute study time, audit the rest. Was the nap skipped? Was the phone scrolled in bed? Was the final espresso swallowed at 5 p.m. to push through? Adjust the recovery axis first. The focus axis rarely needs more throttle. Soon the rhythm becomes internal. You will feel the 90-minute wave like a surfer senses a swell, focus crests, attention wobbles. The mind seeks novelty. That is the precise moment to step onto the beach and let the neural undertow do its invisible work. Colleagues will ask how you absorb new software frameworks over a weekend without weekend-long cram sessions. Answer honestly, I stop halfway. They will laugh, assuming modesty or genetics, and return to their glowing screens in cold brew, chasing the dopamine sparkle that never quite solidifies into long-term circuitry. Years compress into portfolios, degrees, languages, instruments, assets that compound not because you outworked everyone in the daylight, but because you respected the night shift. The brain keeps no loyalty to the highest IQ in the room. It pledges allegiance to whoever shows up with full attention, then gets out of the way. Trigger. Consolidate. The rest is commentary.